Lamar Jackson has taken over as the MVP leader. You got to be consistently good to be great. And Lamar has been so consistently good that I will say it's his MVP to lose because everybody else has already lost it. At the beginning of the season, these were the quarterbacks in contention for the award. But remember, due to injury, Rodgers, he out of there. Herbert, he out of there. Deshaun, he out of there. Burrow, he's out of there. So those four have lost it by nature of getting hurt. But then as the season progressed, other quarterbacks have lost it by nature of their play. Patrick Mahomes loses to the Eagles. That's when he lost the award week 11. After Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, he lost as well to the Eagles. They were 6-8. Of course he lost the award then. Then Jalen Hurts, he was a front runner, but the Niners gave him that work. He's out of there. Jalen Hurts, you gotta go. Then we thought for a moment it was gonna be Tua Tagovailoa. But when Tyreek Hill got hurt, we saw Tua. You lost to the Titans? Nah, big dog. You got to go. We thought it was all on Dak Prescott and America's team, but Dak Prescott got beat down by the Bills. So then there were two. Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson. And Brock Purdy, well, big dog, you got to go. Which means there is one man standing, Lamar Jackson, atop of the NFL MVP throne.
Is Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens about to win the NFL MVP? Yet again, it certainly seems that way. At this point, he appears to be the odds-on favorite to be the MVP. But what makes Lamar Jackson a front-runner in the MVP sweepstakes? Obviously, many people, most of them sports writers, are beginning to say that Lamar Jackson should win the MVP. But why are they saying that? And notice, I said sports writers. That's a very important distinction. Here's what Colin Cowherd recently said about Lamar Jackson being named the NFL MVP. Take a listen. Take a listen very closely to what he says here.
And for the love of God, stop showing me stats. I have eyes. I watch the games. Lamar Jackson was the best player on a field with 10 Hall of Famers, and it wasn't particularly close. Stop with the Tua, Dak, Brock Purdy nonsense. Baltimore's been ravaged by injuries. What are they on their 19th running back? They lost their Pro Bowl tight end, left tackle doesn't play. Doesn't matter. Rookie receiver, multiple drops, doesn't matter. If you were a scout and were sent to this game and they said, give me a take on the two quarterbacks, your take would be on Brock Purdy, kind of a guy, could be a backup. And your take on Lamar Jackson would be, holy God, I've never seen a player like that. The dude looks like half speed. Thanksgiving football backyard with cousins, half speed. He runs whenever he wants. Home, road, good weather, bad weather, against the 49ers defense. There's nothing like him on the planet. I don't need to see passer rating. He wins 80% of his games, and he wins big games. People in Miami freaking out. Miami hasn't won a playoff game since 2000. Ooh, we won a home game over Dallas. Lamar Jackson wins games like this every Sunday, home or away. He's 20-1 in his career against the NFC because if you don't see him regularly, you don't know how to contain him. You don't know what to do with him. You've never seen any player like him. And all it is disrespect and doubt. Tua and Lamar Jackson, same breath, stop it. Purdy, Lamar Jackson, same breath. It's incredible. And then you add a really good coach and a really physical culture, and what you have is a team that can go into San Francisco and push, despite referees getting in the way, push the 49ers all over the field. The Ravens did to the Niners what the Niners do to everybody else. They embarrassed them. They pushed them around. They had all the answers. The Niners were left with all the questions. They poked you in the ribs. They lowered your self-esteem. And you come out of a game with the Niners and think, what are we? And now the Niners this morning wake up due to Lamar Jackson and ask themselves, what are we? Ooh, we beat Dallas at home. Ooh, we can bully bad teams. But against a good Browns defense on the road, loss. Against a physical Ravens team at home and Lamar Jackson, outplayed and bullied. I mean, last night is what a most valuable player looks like. You ever watch a game and think Tua is the best athlete on the field, or Dak or Brock Purdy? Last night on a game with 7, 8 Hall of Fame level talents. That's just on the Niners. He was easily the best player on the field. It was high school and JV. Running, is it half speed? getting whatever he wants, finding crevices where there are none. That's what a most valuable player looks like. Not stats, not a coach, not because the weapons. This is a team with a rookie wide receiver who half the time can't catch. Ronnie Stanley, left tackle, sometimes plays. Pro Bowl tight end gone for the year. On a third running back against the best roster in the league and annihilates them, humiliates them, and leaves the Niners asking the question that Niner opponents do. What are we?
In order to understand why Lamar Jackson is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP, you have to know what the MVP award is and what it's not. Unlike the Pro Bowl, which has been watered down with fan dilution, at this point, fans have no say in who gets to win the MVP. It's not a popularity contest, or at least it's not supposed to be. The NFL MVP award is presented by the Associated Press. It's voted upon by a panel of 50 select sports writers. And for the most part, that list of sports writers isn't made public. So before trashing guys like Colin Cowherd and attacking him on Twitter, you might want to realize he may have a vote. And the gang of 50 sports writers who vote for the MVP, they do so at the end of the season, prior to the playoffs, and of course prior to the Super Bowl. So how a player performs at the end of the season can either make or break his MVP chances. That's what's called recency bias. And it also means that the results are known to some sports writers well before it's announced to the public. It's not announced until Super Bowl weekend. It makes you wonder how many people actually know the results before it's announced. Because in this day and age, there's no such thing as secrets. Somebody is leaking something somewhere. But just how subjective and discretionary is the MVP voting? If you listen to what Emmanuel Acho said in my open and what Colin Cowherd said in his video, they did something in common that you may not have even realized. They were obviously making a statement to the voters. In plugging Lamar Jackson for the NFL MVP, they systematically eliminated the other candidates, the other quarterbacks. Although the MVP isn't supposed to be a quarterback-only award, only one player since 2007 has not been a quarterback, and that was Adrian Peterson in 2012. And no defensive player has won the award since Lawrence Taylor picked it up in 1986. The criteria for selecting an MVP usually revolves around a player's overall performance, and stats, which fans love to spout, are only a minor portion of what people consider. So what do they consider? They consider the overall impact on the team's success. They consider the leadership that a player has shown. And in part, as I said, they consider their statistical achievements. And it's funny because those attributes pretty much mean that every quarterback could be considered to be an MVP candidate early in the year. Hence, since they vote so late, it is most assuredly recency bias. So you can imagine, this is very subjective and it's not an exact science. And that's probably why there's such a huge influence campaign surrounding the choice of the NFL MVP. As you can probably imagine, there is no way that a sports writer has watched every game from every single candidate. And now at the end of the season, they're not going to have time, nor even if they had the time, are they going to go back and watch a season's worth of games. And if you think about it, now it gets really easy. You only have to focus on 1, 2, or 3 frontrunners, and that's it. Remember, the sports writers vote in just 2 weeks. And then you have guys like Emmanuel Acho and Colin Cowherd doing all the groundwork for you, saying here's who you should vote for and here's who you shouldn't vote for. And right now, Lamar Jackson is riding that horse coming around the final turn. He is the front runner. I would suggest at this point that there are only 3 players who could unseat, who could overtake Lamar Jackson as this year's NFL MVP. Those 3 players being Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, and Brock Purdy of the San Francisco 49ers. And what makes Tua Tagovailoa such an interesting candidate is out of those 3 names, Josh, Brock Purdy, and Tua is the only player that's going to go head-to-head with Lamar Jackson in the next 2 weeks. If Tua Tagovailoa can outplay Lamar Jackson in the Dolphins-Ravens game, he could overtake Lamar. And if Lamar Jackson leads the Baltimore Ravens to a win, it's over. Lamar Jackson will be the NFL MVP for 2023. Let me know what you think. I understand there's a lot of people pulling for a lot of different players to be the MVP, but it looks like it's Lamar Jackson's trophy to lose. Love to hear your comments. Talk to you soon.